on the Facebook page, as well as on the official app, on the website, and on your smart speakers. And lots to talk about between now and 9 o'clock. We're very much at the business end of the football season in Pembrokeshire, and this week it's Cup fever taking over with semi-finals in the West Wales and Senior Cups. We'll also take a look at the chances of history repeating itself for Haverfordwest County, with the European playoffs now within touching distance. We've got rugby as well, with some breaking news on Tenby's bid for promotion on the way. Narberth are on the brink of the Championship West title as well, and a roundup of all the other action from the weekend. And we'll tell you why rain may already have stopped play at the start of the Pembrokeshire cricket season, plus why the Premier League title swang Man City's way on Super Sunday, and plenty more as well. In the studio in Haverfordwest this Monday evening, Fraser Watson, evening to you. How are you?
Not too bad today, Ben. This time last week, I told you about 2 crunch games for Swansea coming up, and 6 points from them in safety. So, happy days are here again. Another year in the Championship. I went to Stoke on Wednesday. Wasn't quite the return of Swans alone, but it was a 3-0 win, and I'll take it. I would have been a little bit tired today from the Pendine 5K race yesterday, but it was one that went well, so I'm not going to complain.
Well, listen, we should say a big congratulations to you, actually, Fraser, because you say it went well. You won the Pendine 5K race yesterday. How was it?
Tough, very tough. The sand in Pendine is usually lovely to run on. That's why they have the world land speed record attempts there, of course. But with all the recent rain, it was wet.
Did you break the land speed record?
with the wind behind me, I did, but coming back, I wasn't sure. But it was tough. It was a slower race, I would have said, than usual, and unfortunately, somebody selfishly decided to push me all the way, so I couldn't rest up in the last K or two. So it was a good feeling to come over first, but it was it hurt for a while. It was a while before I got back in the car and drove home. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've never run on sand ever. Actually, really, I think I did it once in France, and it's tricky, isn't it? I've never raced on it, so it's a different challenge, isn't it, than to running on the roads or on the coastal path.
Yeah, totally. Especially when you get a bit of dampness there, it does sap it out of you. You can't really spring off like you want to. But no, great occasion. And the sun actually came out for it for the first time here in Wales in about a month. So that was a lovely coincidence as well.
Okay, so well done, Fraser, and we'll stick with running as well. I'm sure through the show. Love to hear from you if you're going to be flying the Pembrokeshire flag at the London Marathon on Sunday. I've had a look at the weather conditions for Sunday, and it does look it's going to be quite warm, actually. It's going to be about 18 degrees in London, which is warmer than when I did it last year because it was raining for the first few miles. So if you are going to be doing the marathon, do give us a comment on the Facebook page so we can give you a mention between now and 9 o'clock, and we'll come back to that as we go through. Gordon, evening. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, mate. I've had quite a good weekend celebrating my birthday. I was 21 on Sunday, but don't tell anybody else I'm any older, all right?
Yeah, many happy returns. Absolutely. Happy birthday for yesterday, Gordon. You're looking very good on it as well. You've got some football scores because we had, it's a busy week across Pembrokeshire in the football. We're going to get to the cup matches in a bit, but it's that time of the year, isn't it, in the football season where there's almost games every single night of the week at the moment as teams get their fixtures in. What's happened this evening?
Well, this evening, the Howarth brothers are dominated. One for Clarbeston Road, as Clarbeston Road beat Kilgetty 7-3. Laurie scored a hat-trick. And champions Goodwick United won 5-1 at Monkton Swiss, with his brother Will Howarth scoring a hat-trick.
There we go.
The Howarth hat-trick boys were on form tonight for Clarby and the champions Goodwick United.
Excellent stuff. So goals as they go in tonight. Those matches have just finished. Evening to you, Tom. You were at Haverfordwest, weren't you, at the weekend? So we're going to talk about that in a sec as well, and whether European football is going to be coming back to the Oggy Bridge Meadow. Enjoy that at the weekend?
It was a great occasion. Really nice kind of send-off for the Oggy Bridge Meadow as the last home game of the season. And yeah, it's set up quite a delicious tie now away at Penybont on Sunday.
Okay, we'll get the thoughts of Gordon and Fraser as well about whether the European adventure is going to return. Just before we look ahead to the football coming up with some big cup semi-finals, Fraser, also this time of year, there seems to be lots of goals in matches at the end of the season, and that was kind of the way it went, wasn't it, on Saturday? Goodwick was 6-2 winners at Merlins Bridge. Carew beat Milford 4-2, Fishguard 2, Kilgetty 2, and a brilliant scoreline, Neyland 4, Clarbeston Road 5.
Well, funny you should say that, Ben. Looking a bit further down, I had an eye on my old team, Solveru, in a Division 3 Cup semi-final in Hakin, and that ended 5-4-2 against the Reading. Look,
I love that.
It's a random time of year. Some boys are strapped up to the hilt. Teams are often depleted, calling on players. There tends to be a bit more disorganisation, so that perhaps leads to it, as opposed to us suddenly unveiling a load of clinical finishers in here in April and May anyway. But yeah, it'll be frantic. It'll be frantic for now in the next couple of weeks as well.
A lot of the Pembrokeshire League sides have been based on Spurs defending, Ben. So, they're leaking a lot of goals at the moment, mate.
I think that's doing justice to the Pembrokeshire League sides defending, having watched our defending on Saturday lunchtime. Gord, before we turn our attention to cup matches, actually, Gordon, you spoke to Chris O'Sullivan, didn't you?
Yeah.
Last week on the night they won the title, and we had that interview in the first hour of the show. He was in good spirits, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all know what Sully's like. We've all spoken to him on many occasions on here, and Fraser has as well. He's very intense, is our Sully. He's a winner. And that comes through his football teams as well. They're well prepared, and they're usually pretty fit as well. They have to keep fit, and he knows what it's all about. And he was bitterly disappointed that they got knocked out of the West Wales Cup. It was still eating at him as he was talking to me. You know, he believed the treble was really on, and that was a very disappointing. But he said the boys got back up for it. They're on for hopefully getting the doubles, retaining the double as well. And I think they're odds-on favourites, to be honest. I'm not going to make any predictions before the rest of you, but I think Goodwick will win the Senior Cup.
Okay, let's switch to cup football, shall we? And let's start with Thursday night, because it's a West Wales Cup semi-final for Merlins Bridge against Llangyfelach. Fraser, how do we see this going for the Bridge? Are we going to get a Pembrokeshire side in the final?
Look, I'm hopeful. I keep being told that Merlins Bridge are slightly fortuitous to be there, that they haven't been great this season, they've been up and down. It's irrelevant now, right? They are there. They've got nothing to play for in the league. They can look at it like that. You know, me and Gordon, we've gone over this 100 times, and I'm going up before. We were there in 2013 when Johnston won a West Wales Cup. Nothing about that win makes sense to this day. So once you're in the final four, you've got every chance to win it.
That's cup football, though.
Of course it is. And you look at Llangyfelach, they don't know a great deal about them. They're an inexperienced side. They have got young talent, apparently. They haven't been on this stage before. And you look actually at their season, and they've only played 9 games in the Swansea Premier League, you know, and they've actually only won 4 of them. So they're not a team coming in with a lot of football behind them. They've had a frustrating period like everyone has here in Pembrokeshire. And from a Bridge point of view now, and we've looked at it, and I've done it as well. I've looked at their squad this season, and I've seen a few names there, and you perhaps think, it's not ideal for those players to be in this situation now because, you know, they're obviously past their peak. Or the names I'm about to mention are excellent players in Pembrokeshire football in the last 2 decades, up there with the best. But in terms of blooding youngsters in a first team, you might not want them. I'm talking about, you know, boys like Di Davis, Matthew Divry, maybe Joe Leahy. But you can spin that narrative around now this week. The 3 names are named there have been.
You can mention Stephen Williams as well. Welsh League experience.
Have been at this stage with Merlins Bridge before and gone on to win the West Wales Cup. They're quality players. They're experienced. They're composed. You look at Lee Hudshall, right? Been at this stage with Goodwick United before, gone on to score the winner in a West Wales Cup final. They have people in that squad who know how to get over the line in this competition. You know, so they can go there against Llangyfelach, irrespective of what anyone said about their season, with little pressure on them. And they go there knowing what it's all about, you know. And look, Paul Thomas will know that they have to play well. He'll know they'll have to be organised, but he'll be also pleased that he's going with people. He doesn't have to worry about them being phased from the occasion.
No.
So the fact that they have maybe, you know, had to rely on people who are a little bit past their peak or elder players this year could benefit them this week.
Okay.
Because experience is everything in this cup competition, and as you said, Fraser, they're probably a little bit inexperienced, and that will come to the fore. They'll be ready for it, and they know it's the only silverware they can win this season. The Bridge will definitely be up for it, and I think I'll go a step further. They could surprise Penlan in the final if they get their attitude right on the night, because the Vikings rattled them in the first half last year, and they should have gone on to win it. I don't know what happened, but they just had a terrible second half. But the Bridge are capable of going the whole hog again, and obviously being in Pembrokeshire, that's what we want to see.
I think as well, Gordon. I think this is important now. Goodwick are out of the way in this competition. Now, Goodwick have given Bridge 2 hidings, one of them Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. And if we're Goodwick lying in wait for that final, that would be bound to be playing in your mind. There would be trepidation there, thinking if we get through, we're against a side who've been vastly superior to this in all 3 games,
Correct.
I think, this year, and have finished way above them. They can forget that now. Goodwick are out of the picture. You know, they're the only Pembrokeshire representative. It's their competition. It's their time now. You know, and I
agree with you.
I really
there.
hope they'll have to play well. Of course they will. It's a West Cup semi-final, but I really hope they can find a way on to.
Yeah, I have to say as well, I ears pricks, Fraser, when you said Llangyfelach have only played 9 times this season.
9 league games.
9 league games, which is bonkers. Is that because of the weather? Is that because of their cup runs? Yeah. So they're going to be tired. So when you said that, I just had a look at our friends at All Wales Sport. I had a look at their running. Have you seen the amount of games Llangyfelach are going to be playing? I mean, they've got
ridiculous.
And that'll weigh on their minds too. When you're in that situation, you can say what you like about looking at games in isolation. It's impossible. It is impossible when you've got that fixtures that they've had to just say we'll take one game at a time. They have to be thinking about player welfare, they call it these days. I don't know, rotation, whatever. We just called it tiredness in our day. But there's got to be in the back of their minds what they've got coming up.
Well, let me tell you, they've got games on the 17th, 18th, and 20th of April, the 27th of April, the 30th of April, the 2nd of May, the 4th of May, the 7th of May, the 9th of May, the 11th of May, the 14th of May, the 16th of May, and the 18th of May. That's a bonkers schedule, isn't it, for a run-in?
Have a good month, lads.
Yeah. So are we given that, are we going to say the Bridge could be favourites for this on Thursday?
No,
let's not get run away with it. No,
I don't think
we're not
favourites, if I'm honest. But I think that they are
even with that run.
And I think there's a lot of things which could go in their favour, which people are overlooking. I think they're capable of going through. I wouldn't put them favourites.
Okay, well, I'm now going to follow Llangyfelach's run to the end of the season because that is absolutely bonkers, isn't it? Okay, so that's Thursday. Good luck to Merlins Bridge in that. We are right behind them, of course, here at Pure West Radio. Good luck to them with that. And then, of course, all eyes on the 2 Senior Cup semi-finals, both at the Bridge Meadow. Friday night, Goodwick United against Pennar. Saturday, Clarbeston Road against Carew. So Friday first, 7 o'clock kickoff. That's going to be a really good occasion, isn't it? But we can't see past Goodwick, can we, for this one?
No, Pennar Robins will, they'll give him a game. But on saying that, as I just said, Sully will be meticulous with everything that's got to be done on the night, and it will be done on the night. So I can't see Pennar really upsetting Goodwick. But you never know in cup football, do you, Ben? There's always that element of a little bit of a luck, an own goal or whatever could happen. And, things do happen. And big sides have lost in this cup competition, as we know, Fraser, in the semi-final before. So it's not a foregone conclusion, but yes, Goodwick are the favourites to win on Friday night, definitely. But don't rate off Pennar. They'll be doing their utmost to upset the Hornbuck.
And
in a one-off semi-final, Fraser, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, Pennar might look at it a free hit as well. I do agree with Gordon. I think Goodwick will go through. I think Chris O'Sullivan will be hell-bent now. He won't want to lose 2 cup semi-finals. That'll be hanging over him as well. You hope that the Pennar do for the sake, and you hope Pennar do turn up and you have a really competitive and good game of football. And again, they can look at it as underdogs and no pressure on them as well. So, we just hope for a good game. But I think a Friday night occasion for a semi-final, I'm not sure that's never happened in my lifetime in the Senior Cup. So let's hope it's a good occasion. I think you get a good crowd down there. That's for sure.
I think so.
And you look at the Saturday, it'll be interesting. 6 o'clock.
That's a great time.
Okay, well, very quickly then, let's just go around the table for that first semi-final. We're going to do score predictions. Gordon?
Score. Okay, I'll say 5-1 to
All right. Well done, Gordon. Sitting on the fence as ever. Fraser?
Yeah, 3-1 Goodwick.
Tom?
I was going to go 3-1, so I'll split the difference. I'll go 4-1.
I'll go 4-0 Goodwick then. And then on to Saturday, which is a 6 o'clock start. Clarbeston Road against Carew. So another one at the Bridge Meadow Stadium. Again, a Saturday evening, which is going to be interesting. Hopefully we'll get a decent crowd for that. Fraser, kick us off. How's that one going to go?
I think this one is a lot tougher to call. I think Clarby, if you look at league position, it's obviously to say being the better side in terms of the league. They can score goals, as we saw on Saturday, conceded them as well. They've had some exciting games this season. In fact, I think they'll kick themselves a little bit when they look at this league campaign. They've lacked consistency, a little more consistency. They had the win at Hakin and then really dipped. And they'd be in second place this year. And they won't be far off it, but I think they are going to finish third. Carew, look, have been down there for a long time, but with games in hand, I never thought they'd be relegated. They got way too much quality as well. They got pedigree in cup football. I think Clarby start as favourites, if I'm honest, and this is an occasion that both teams have actually graced before and got into finals in recent years. But over the course of the season, looking back on what both teams have done, I'll go for Clarby, but not with a great deal of conviction. I'll say 3-2.
Okay, Gordon?
Yeah, this one's a lot tighter to call, to be honest. You got Marcus Griffiths and Jack Christopher, both ex-Ross League players playing for Carew. So, they got a lot of experience. You've got Ben John up front for Clarby. He's been scoring quite regular. You've got Rob Morgans as well, former Goodwick player, tidy, excellent.
Laurie Howarth, you just mentioned.
Laurie Howarth has been scoring goals for fun as well. He had a hat-trick tonight. So, it's a tough one to call. It's a lot closer than the other game. But being a former Clarbeston Road player as a kid, I'll just have to edge with them and hope that Rocky gets the winner in the 89th minute.
On Saturday evening. Okay. I'm going to go for Carew, I think. There's not much between the two sides in terms of points in the league. So I think it will be an interesting one. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Carew. Tom?
I'm going to go... because they've both done really well in this latter part of the season. Carew we were worried about earlier on. I'm going to go Clarby Road because of the momentum behind them, but I think it'll be tighter. I think it'll be 1-0.
Okay. And then all eyes then for the following weekend will be the final. And will that be at the Bridge Meadow, or do we have to wait confirmation for that?
Yeah, back at the Meadow,
Yeah, which is going to... How do you feel about that, the semis being played there, then the final? Does it take anything away from it, or does it just build up the anticipation for the following weekend?
I don't mind it personally. I've seen some good semi-final nights down there. I've actually played in one myself, and you appreciate playing on the Meadow. So, people traditionalists will say you should be using marble halls, scattering it about. I'm perfectly happy to be on the Meadow.
Let's be honest. If you ask the players, they'll go for the Bridge Meadow every time. So it gives them another opportunity to play on the hallowed turf of the Bridge Meadow Stadium. So yes, I agree. Let's enjoy it. Let's have every game on the Bridge Meadow Stadium. In fact, I will play every cup game. If it was anything to do with me, would be played on the Bridge Meadow, because even 4th, 5th division sides want to have their day on the Meadow.
Yeah, but I suppose you have to look after the pitch a bit, Gord, as well.
The pitch is fine down there. It's hardly ever played on, Ben.
Yeah, fair.
Academy only played there on a Sunday. The first only played there on a Saturday, so not playing that much.
All right, that's the big weekend of cup football previewed on Pure West, and we'll come back to that, I'm sure, next Monday, because we'll be looking ahead to the Senior Cup final, won't we? We'll know the lineup this time next week. Good luck to all of those sides and to Merlins Bridge as well for that game on Thursday. I tell you what we're going to do. We will have a look at the Haverfordwest game from the weekend, and we'll talk local rugby, but we'll take a moment. We'll do that in part 2. And just before we do you know, I've gone on all season about my fantasy football team and being top of the Clever Casuals table. Tom's laughing and smiling because probably knows where I'm going to go with this. Just to say, lads, I'm no longer top. I'm now 8th.
Oh,
all right.
You're just like your own football team, Spurs, mate. Down the slippery slope you go.
It's fallen off a cliff in recent weeks. I'm about 60 points behind the league leader, who is Evan Watts.
Don't take it to heart, Ben. It's only a game.
It happens to the best of them, Ben, at this stage.
All I'll say, there's a long way to go still. There's still free hits and bench boosts to be played, but it hasn't been a great few weeks. We'll come back.
Why you hadn't mentioned it the last few weeks?
Yeah, I had to hold my hands up. I'll talk about it in good times and bad.
It's better to get it off your chest, mate.
Okay, we'll come back for part 2. We'll see whether Haverfordwest are going to make it into those European playoffs. We'll round up the rugby, and we've got cricket. It's one of those Mondays in the year where we can do football, rugby and cricket on the show. It's Monday evening. It's Pure West Sport.
Explore the world with Oki White Travel, celebrating an incredible